Back on the right stand, ladies and gentlemen, with the word that the United States is set to get its largest temple, perhaps one of the largest in the world, the BAPS Swaminarayan Akshardham, located 90 kilometers south of the Times Square in New Jersey, will be formally inaugurated on the 8th of October. The temple is possibly the second largest after the Angkor Wat in Cambodia. That's the world's second largest Hindu temple. The Mandir complex is spread over 183 acres and it's built by 12,500 plus volunteers across the US who have spent many years in Seva. We will be joined by some of the volunteers in just a bit. Meanwhile, built over a span of 12 years, 2011 to 2023, guided by artisan volunteers from Bharat, using the traditional Nagara style, but mix of a confluence of styles. That's where it comes from. Features of the temple consist of one main shrine, 12 sub-shrines, 9 spire-like structures and pyramidal shikhars. The design depicts ancient Indian Sanskriti. 10,000 plus statues and statuettes in the temple. 151 Indian musical instruments have been carved. 108 traditional Indian dance forms have been carved. There is a Brahmakund right at the entrance that contains water from 300 plus holy rivers, Indian rivers, and also rivers, large rivers from across the world, including the Nile and the Amazon. The Kund also has water from each of the 50 states in the US. Over 2 million cubic feet of stone has been used. Stones have been sourced from across the world, including Italy and some other European nations, and also from Bharat. Limestone from Bulgaria and Turkey. Marble from Greece, Turkey and Italy. Granite from India and China. Decorative stones from Europe, Asia and Latin America. All of this had been brought to Rajasthan, where the sculpting has been done. We'll get those details also, but let's quickly go across to Ishwar Charan Swamiji, the international convener of BAPS Swaminarayan Sanstha. Namaste. Thank you so much, Swamiji, for speaking with us. Let me first ask you, is the Akshardham temple in New Jersey open to people of all faith and accessible to anyone who wants to visit?
Akshardham is for all. Everybody can come in Akshardham. They are all welcome.
Swamiji, what makes the Akshardham temple's hospitality and the promotion of Sanatan Dharma stand out, especially for visitors from the US?
यह मंदिर की विशेषता यह है कि यह मंदिर करीब 12,000 से ऊपर जो वॉलंटियर्स है, उसमें जेंट्स है, लेडीज़ है, स्टूडेंट्स है, हाईली क्वालिफाइड प्रोफेशनल्स है, वो सब ने अपना व्यवसाय और अपना जो कामकाज सब छोड़कर यहाँ करीब 2 साल से ज़्यादा यहाँ सेवा की है। और ये पत्थर का जो मंदिर का जो निर्माण, उनकी जो सेवा करना बहुत कठिन है जी। फिर भी सबने अपना खुद का एक सेवा का कार्य समझकर सबने जो सेवा की है, वो एक सबसे बड़ी बात है। माने यह पूरा अक्षरधाम जो है, ये माने हृदय से जो सेवा हुई है, उसका एक प्रतीक है। माने कोई भी यहाँ आएगा तो उसको सेवा की जो महत्ता है उसका पता चलेगा। और इस मंदिर द्वारा अमेरिका में भी अपना जो हिंदू सनातन धर्म है, उसका माने एक जो उनकी जो समझ है, उनका जो ज्ञान है, वो यहाँ के सब लोग और यहाँ जो विजिटर्स भी लाखों की संख्या में आएंगे, वो सबको उनका ज्ञान प्राप्त होगा।
जी, भगवान श्री कृष्ण ने भी भगवत गीता में सेवा की ही बात कही है। कहा है कि मनुष्य का ध्येय धर्म ही सेवा है, सर्विस। पर एक बात बताइए, जो सनातन धर्म को नहीं जानते या उससे अपरिचित है, उसको फॉलो नहीं करते, नॉन हिंदू विजिटर्स, विल इट गिव एन इंसाइट इनटू द रिच हिस्ट्री ऑफ सनातन प्रथा, द हिंदू वे ऑफ लाइफ, यहाँ जो आएंगे स्वामी जी?
ये तो उसमें एक बात यह है जी कि इतना बढ़िया और इतना सुंदर और इतना अच्छा मंदिर देखकर जो नॉन हिंदूज़ है, उसको पता चलेगा कि जो हिंदू धर्म, हिंदू संस्कृति, उसमें जो मंदिर निर्माण है, मंदिर की जो रचना है, वो कितनी सुंदर है। कितनी अद्भुत है।
जी।
और हर एक माने जो लोग होते हैं जो यहाँ आके दर्शन करते हैं उसको माने मंदिर के प्रति जो एक चाहना जो है,
जी।
जो श्रद्धा है वो बढ़ती है। कोई भी आएगा अगर वो हिंदू हो या ना हो, और मंदिर में सब जो डिटीज़ है, सब भगवान उनकी मूर्तियाँ, सब देवों देवताओं की मूर्तियाँ, और भी बहुत से बात इस मंदिर में है।
जी।
अकॉर्डिंग टू अवर जो अपना भारतीय शास्त्र है उनके अनुसार, तो कोई भी विदेशी यहाँ आएंगे तो उसको हिंदू धर्म का बहुत अच्छी तरह से एक ज्ञान वो प्राप्त कर सकेंगे।
जो इस मंदिर के फाउंडर्स हैं, प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज जी और महंत स्वामी महाराज, उनका ध्येय क्या था? उनकी इंस्पिरेशन क्या थी? थॉट प्रोसेस क्या था?
प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज एंड महंत स्वामी महाराज, उन्होंने यह मंदिर जो बनाया
जी।
उसका एक ही मकसद है कि विश्व में माने जो हम कहते हैं कि भाई धर्म, श्रद्धा, भक्ति, उनका माने प्रचार हो, और ख़ास करके अपनी जो आने वाली पीढ़ियाँ है, अपने बच्चे हैं, उनके बच्चे, उनके बच्चे हैं, आने वाली पीढ़ियाँ हजारों साल तक यह मंदिर द्वारा अपने जो संस्कार है, अपने जो मूल्य है, उसको बहुत अच्छी तरह से वो लोग सीख सकेंगे और उनके जीवन में भी उतार सकेंगे। इसलिए प्रमुख स्वामी महाराज और महंत स्वामी महाराज ने यह मंदिर का निर्माण किया है।
Yogi, namaste. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The temple looks fantastic behind you. Is it now formally open to the public?
It's great to see you again. Thanks for joining us. We're here in central New Jersey, about 8,000 miles away from Delhi. And this is the world's largest mandir. Well, to be safe, we should say the world's largest. Sorry, can we start that again? Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anandji. It's so
Yeah.
nice. Thank
Yeah,
you,
go ahead.
Anandji. It's so nice to be with you here again today. You're in Delhi. I'm here in central New Jersey, about 60 miles away from New York City, 50 miles away from Philadelphia, just to give your viewers some context of where we are. But it feels like we're in India. You see this beautiful mandir behind me, a mandir of Hindu Sanatan Dharma here in Robbinsville, New Jersey. The mandir is opening to the public on October 8th, is the public inauguration, and the 9th, the mandir will be open to the public. So Hindus, non-Hindus, believers, non-believers, everyone will come and flock because there's so many aspects of this mandir, Anandji, that appeal to the visitor. Obviously, there is the Hindu Sanatan a seeker or believer who will come for darshan of the various murtis inside the mandir, but there will be also people who are attracted to the experience of Indian cuisine and prasad, the experience of Indian art and culture, music, and then of course the architecture. If you look at the architecture behind us, and we'll talk about it in a bit, it is unlike something I've seen in the 70 countries that I've traveled to around the world.
Well, how is this bigger, better, different than Akshardham closer home in Delhi, or the one we saw in the UAE, and now this? Because this has taken 12 years to build, hasn't it?
Historically, mandirs have been developed and built differently in different eras, different periods of time. There's different shailis or traditional styles according to the Stapatya Shastras in which these mandirs are I'm going to try again. Historically, Anandji, mandirs are built differently in different periods of time. There are also different traditions or shailis according to the Stapatya Shastras, the ancient Hindu architectural treatises. This mandir here behind me has been built in the Nagari style, and it the beauty of it is, and I like to say this often, it is embedded in tradition and yet it embraces innovation. So when you look at it, I just had a group of architectural scholars from India visit a few days ago as a preview before the mandir started, and they were discussing and debating amongst themselves, is this the Dravidi Shaili? Is this the Nagari Shaili? There was this heated debate that was happening. And that is because there is this innovation. Though it is built in this Nagari Shaili, there is this you'll see behind me, there are no true arc domes, no gummats. You'll see samarans and shikhars. And so there's a very sort of ancient tradition that the builders and the designers of this mandir have returned to before the advent of the true arc and dome in South Asia, in India.
Yes, the Nagari Shailis also finds influence with the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya. But let me ask you, we see it's a huge campus all around. How many Shraddhalus can it hold at one point, and what is the expectation? You see a growing footfall of Sanatan believers in and around across not just New Jersey, but pan-America?
I think of this mandir as not just a Hindu mandir. Of course, it's a Hindu Sanatan mandir, but it is also a Hindu-American mandir. When you take it a step further, it speaks to the Indian American community. And then you take it a step further, Anandji, and then this truly becomes an American story. Because when you look at this mandir, it is built dead hard in the middle of central New Jersey. It's not in an urban area. It's not in a heavily populated urban area where, you know, people of different immigrational backgrounds or ethnic backgrounds are present. It is in the heart of America in a certain way. And when you walk around the mandir, you will see how universal values that we as Hindus have celebrated, or we as Indians have celebrated for centuries, are presented through the faces and through the words of American leaders as well. So as you walk around the Jagati, or the base plinth of the mandir, and we'll show you some views while I'm speaking, you will see universal values of acceptance, universal values of warmth and generosity, of inclusivity, of love, selfless service, of giving. All of that, bhakti and seva, as our viewers will be familiar with in India, shown through the lives of people like President Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King Jr., the Reverend Martin Luther King Jr., Albert Einstein, Socrates, and the list keeps going. Gautam Buddha, the Sikh gurus are also incorporated on the Jagati, and their messages and their murtis are there. And the reasoning behind that is that, of course, our Hindus and the seekers from this tradition, the Buddha, Jaina, and Sikh traditions know about the Vedas, they know about the Upanishads, they know about the Ramayana, Mahabharata, and the Bhagavata Purana. But the people who come here appreciate those same messages if they're shown in a way that speaks to them. If they see familiar faces, familiar voices, people they respect sharing those stories. And that is why that American experience has been woven in. The other thing that is innovative about this mandir is as you walk around, along with the murtis, so there's 13 shrines inside, Anandji. In the Mukhya, or the Madhya Garbha Gruhu, the central shrine, you will find murtis of Bhagavan Swaminarayan and his first successor, Gunatitananda Swamiji. And then around the mandir, in the other 13 shrines, you will find murtis of Sri Radha Krishna Bhagavan, Siyaram Bhagavan, Hanumanji Dev, Ganapati Ji. You will find murtis of, I can keep going. There's 13 shrines. And the beauty of it is here in the diaspora, people from all the regions and sub-traditions of India are represented equally. You'll have someone from the south, you'll have someone from the north, the east, the west, the Himalayan foothills. And so we've tried to incorporate all of the gods, the manifestations of the divine through gods and goddesses. So Vithobaji is here as well. Tirupati Balaji is here as well. So everyone, every Hindu, every Sikho will find some sort of belonging in their expression of faith when they come and visit. And you take it a step beyond that. As I said earlier, the Jain Tirthankaras, Gautama Buddhaji, you will find murtis of the Sikh gurus, and even Sufi and Muslim seekers who have been celebrated, venerated in the Hindu tradition, have been placed around the mandir in the different shilpas and the statuettes around the mandir. Let me give you an interesting fact now. There are 10,000 statuettes around the mandir,
Wow.
And more than 2 million cubic feet of stone has been used to build this mandir. Stone from Italy, Greece, Bulgaria, and of course, where you're sitting in India. All of that stone was shipped to India, Rajasthan, where it was intricately hand carved. Then a dry fitting was done so that when that stone is sent here, we know it's going to work. And then when it gets here, like an entire jigsaw puzzle, it's all placed together, locked together. And it's fascinating to see all the stones are laid out in the farmland nearby. They're all coated with an intricate system. And then there are people who specialize in this who then find out where the matching pieces are, and then they find to put that together. At some point, I'd like to talk to you also about the story and the history of the making. But before I do that, maybe I'll answer your immediate question, which is, what are the expectations? What can one find when they come to the mandir? In the olden days, when you go to a mandir, there's usually a body of water right at the front. And the concept behind that is, if you've been bearing the scorching sun for a few hours or a few days or a few weeks to get to the pilgrimage or the tirthasthana, what happens is that you're tired, physically, mentally, maybe emotionally at times. And those bodies of water are ways to purify yourself physically, but also leave some of that emotional, psychological, social trauma that you carry with you to the mandir. So right at the beginning of the mandir parisar or complex, there is a Brahmakund. And in that Brahmakund, 400 bodies of water around the world, from the Amazon, Nile, Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, all of those waters have been brought here and placed. So everyone can get a little experience of the Tirthasthans of India and of those around the world as they come to this mandir here. The first murti that greets them is a 49-foot tall murti of Sri Nilakantha, who is the childhood form of Bhagavan Swaminarayan. And that murti stands in yogic posture. I'm going to emulate it here for you, for your viewers. And in that yogic posture, I've seen Buddhists, Jains, Hindus, Christians all come and meditate there. Some of them even do yoga there and offer incense sticks and pray for their well-being. And after that, one comes through a welcome center, and then lo and behold, this beautiful view of the world's largest mandir here in New Jersey. And there are no expectations. The mandir is closed on Tuesdays, so your viewers should know that if they're traveling from India. And it's open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. every other day for Tirthavasis, for pilgrims and visitors who would like to come have a little piece of India right here in New Jersey, just a few minutes away from New York.
Well, there's a lot of which I have seen what you've mentioned, some of those glimpses of multiculturalism, multi-beliefs, multi-faith systems manifest even at Akshardham in Delhi. But this just seems so much bigger and grander on the scape, even via a Zoom conversation with you, Yogi Tridevi. Wonderful speaking with you. Thank you so much for your time. I have to keep this conversation short, but with the promise that we will have a longer conversation, and perhaps very soon, this surely merits a visit, a personal visit to actually take in the entire sites and the efforts that's gone behind it. Thank you so much. This looks fantastic. The temple looks fantastic. Take us through the journey. How have you been involved?
I've been here for a year and a half now. I first moved here from Miami, Florida in June 2022. So I used to work actually. I had a job in a consulting company. I worked as an actuary. So it's basically the math behind insurance. Most people don't know exactly what it is, but it's math behind insurance. So I worked for this consulting company, and then the chance came to do long-term seva here. So we always had the opportunity to come for a few days at a time, but never the chance to come for a long time. So when that chance came up, I thought, when else will I, an average woman from America, I was born and raised here, get a chance to be part of building a mandir, any mandir, especially not a Maha Mandir like this one. And my mandir in Miami, the one I've been going to since I was a child, has made such an impact on my life growing up. And it's just a small mandir where a few hundred people go. So if that small mandir made such an impact in my life, just thinking about the impact that a Maha Mandir like this will have on so many people, Hindus, non-Hindus, everyone, it was too good of an opportunity to say no to. Once in a lifetime, as we call it. So then I left my job and I came here, and I've been in seva here ever since.
So what is the kind of seva that you have been involved in? Has it been peripheral work, or have you been in the core of the construction of the temple, assembly of the stonework that's come in all the way from Rajasthan? How have you been involved?
So I came and I first started in a team that was part of stone preparation. So what we did was we opened the pallets of stones. They come in pallets. So we open them, clean the foam, everything. We power wash them, we treat them, and then we get them ready to be sent to the site for assembly. So in that, I learned how to drive a forklift because you have to actually move the stones around. They don't just move themselves. So we learned how to drive a forklift. We got licensed in these things, and it was an all-female team that did this. So there were multiple women who were licensed in driving forklifts, and we got very good with crowbars and all of different tools to open pallets. So I learned that. Then after some time, I got a different seva as the team lead of the team that did seva inside the Mahamandir. So then for the rest of my time here, almost a year, I spent all inside the Mahamandir. So I considered myself very privileged that the location that everyone is going inside now and getting to see, I got to come here every day over the last year and just live it. So it was quite a privilege. And there we were involved in a few different things. So we used to fill the cracks between the gaps, not cracks, I should say, between stones, because they're placed like a puzzle, as Yogi Tridevi called it. So the gaps, we would fill those. So it's a very simple task, actually. But what makes it complicated is you have to go to the crack. The crack won't come to you. So you have to use scissor lift, boom lifts, different mechanisms to actually get to the location that you need to go to. So we gained licensing in that and training in all of that as well. Then we were involved in making lighting fixtures. So if you ever get the chance to go inside, which I hope you do, you will see that there are lights around each pillar all around. And so we had the chance to make markings for those lights, which is actually quite complicated to do with a laser, and then actually drill the holes for those lights themselves. So it's 8 inches of drilling straight into concrete, and then you have to make space for the conduits to connect every single light all around the pillar. So it's a lot of drilling and chipping and heavy concrete work, which you don't ever imagine a team of 30, 40, 50-year-old middle-aged aunties doing. But I personally, when this seva first came, as the team lead, I thought, will my team be able to do this? Because it's a team of, again, like I said, middle-aged, older women, moms and housewives like that. But I shouldn't have doubted like that. I realized that afterwards, because once we got the proper training, we got the proper tools, they felt so empowered that they got the chance to engage in a seva like this, something that they might not even have imagined themselves doing. So we got to engage in that. And then towards the end, the last seva we were involved in was stone repair. So inside there's a lot of small carvings that I did not realize how much breaks in the process of building a mandir. So we got this big palette of all the broken pieces that have broken over the time that this mandir has been built. And we had the very difficult task of finding each little piece in this magnificent Mahamandir and finding it and making sure it matches and then fitting it back together. So we got very good at identifying patterns and carvings and all of that. And that led to, we were trained in small carving designs as well. So there are small things that were broken or not done when they came. So to complete that, we learned how to carve small designs like flowers and things like that as well.
Wow, that's a lot of hard work, a lot of learning, a lot of manual work. But what's the spiritual gain that you got compared to going to a mandir closer home and putting in hard yards and hard amount of work? Did it also give you a certain level of spiritual solace, spiritual happiness?
Yes, for sure. So we always talk about this, that when we come to build Akshardham, we might feel that we are building Akshardham, and we might feel that like we've done something to make this Mahamandir come together. But the reality is that we just got this chance to help us build Akshardham within. And what that means is Akshardham represents faith and harmony and all of those things that we've been able to build within ourselves by engaging in the seva. Because when else would we be able to get the chance to work with people so much older than us, maybe younger than us, from many different backgrounds, but yet we all were able to come together and work in harmony, work with Samp, as Mansoy Maharaj always preaches, unity. Samp means unity, and Mansoy Maharaj always talks about this. And that quality we were able to really imbibe in each other and in ourselves and really build up to them with